CAFO, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation. The old-fashioned way of raising cattle, like the old-fashioned way of growing corn, was on the small family farm. Cattle were raised in pastures, eating grass and hay, the food they naturally eat. But as corn took over the family farm, cows and other animals were pushed out. Cattle are now raised in densely packed animal cities like pokies. These places are called CAFOs, Concentrated Animal Feeding Operations. Farmers give up raising cattle because, as strange as it may seem, it costs a farmer more to feed corn than it costs a CAFO to buy it, thanks to those government subsidies. Eating meat used to be a special occasion in most American homes, and thanks to CAFOs, meat is now so cheap that many of us eat it 3 times a day. Of course, the American taxpayers have already paid part of that cost by subsidizing corn. But there are other costs involved in raising cattle this way, costs that shoppers don't see when they buy a steak at the supermarket. On the old-fashioned farm, there is really no such thing as waste. Animal manure goes back into the fields as fertilizer. But the waste from CAFOs is a huge source of very toxic pollution. Tons of animal manure are produced with no good way of disposing of it. The feedlots are also breeding grounds for new and deadly bacteria. And some of these bacteria are finding their way into our food. And there is another cost of raising cattle on CAFOs, one that's even harder to see. These animals have evolved to eat grass, but in a CAFO, they're forced to eat corn at considerable cost to their health, to the health of the land, and ultimately to the health of us, their eaters.